Welcome to Tuesday's live on how do you know if a recipe is healthy or not. There's so many recipes out there, all of them stating healthy, this one's healthy, this one's healthy. And you might think, well, how do you actually know? Or you might be like, I'm having all these healthy recipes, but I'm not losing weight. So what's going on? I'm like, I'm in the salads, it might be healthy. I'm eating this, it says it's healthy, but yet my belly's still fat, I'm still feeling overweight, and nothing's happening on the scales. So I wanted to share with you how do you know if a recipe is healthy? Because obviously there's ones that I give to you guys, and then there's ones that you can get from anywhere. And I thought I'll cover off some key things to look at for this. But yeah, I'll give you a few moments to come and join. Hashtag replay if you're on the replay. I have come back to drinking out of my pantry water bottle because the weather since I stopped drinking has gone horrible. Now, in fairness, I've started drinking. It is sunny out there, so lighting is a nightmare tonight because it's all kind of sun and then shade and then sun and then shade. So since I've started drinking out this again, it has gone sunnier, although it's extremely windy. So it's like a summer storm out there. And our see that, like, look at that. My hair is driving me insane. It keeps falling out. I got to cut a bit shorter. I said, it's fine. I didn't put up that much. It's fine. And I think because I've washed it with doing so many workouts, it's really soft and it's thick hair anyway. And so it just keeps falling out. So that will increasingly drive me insane as we do this, but all good. All right. That's enough of my woes. But yeah, still manifesting the sunshine for everybody. Let's get into it. So how do you know if a recipe is healthy or not? Well, if we look at the recipe I put up earlier today, I'm just going to bring it up to have a little look at. The ingredients are all whole ingredients. So there's, if you didn't catch that recipe, you want to search on it. It's chicken, orange, and pecan salad. And it's servings for 2. Overall calories of 458. You might, oh, that's quite high. But remember, this is a meal. So it's a filling meal. And it's 28 grams of protein, which is high protein. 47 of carbs. Yeah, oh, that's a lot. But yeah, you've got fruit in there. You've got different micronutrients in there. You've got the salad. And then the fats are 20. And you're like, oh, that's high in fat, Julie. Well, yes, but again, it's natural fats because that's from the pecans. So if you break down the ingredients, you've got honey, mustard, olive oil, lemon juice, orange juice, cinnamon, all natural ingredients, all what we deem healthy fats. And then for the actual salad, you've got chicken breast, you've got rocket, you've got iceberg lettuce, you've got orange, pomegranate, and pecans, all whole foods. Colorful, filling, and to be honest, that's how you really know. If you look at it and it's a colorful meal, then you know you're on to a winner. And if you've got a good portion of protein in there too, I'd say that's also the key. If you have a meal and you're still hungry after it, then actually, yes, it might be healthy, but if you've not got enough protein, it's not going to fuel you. So therefore, then you're going to be craving more food later on. And this is where the snacking can come into play and the overeating. So ultimately, you want to look for a balance of proteins, carbs, and fats, and a good mixture of these. And then you want a variety, if I just mentioned about the micronutrients, that's your vitamins and minerals. So you get these in your vegetables, in your fruits, your whole grains, and they're healthy fats and they're good for you. One of the things that often gets said is around avocado or avocados fattening. Yes, it is, but no one has ever come to me overweight because they eat too many avocados. It's just not a thing, right? So it's that thing about the fear around, oh, these good fats, oh, you can still get fat off them and nuts. Yes, but only if you're eating to excess. And I would say there's very few people who are overweight because they're eating lots of fresh nuts, and I'm not talking about ones coated in salt or chocolate, and very few people who are overweight because they're eating too much avocado. All right, so ultimately you're looking at the whole foods. So you can see it's a chicken, it's not processed. You can see it's a fish, whatever that protein is in the recipe, you can see that's what it is. And in terms of the healthy fats, as I say, they're natural from avocados, from nuts, from seeds, olive oil, and natural sugar is in there in terms of honey. Maple syrup's also natural sugar, just to add in a bit of sweetness, and the fruit too. Now, I mentioned about the calories in that recipe. You might be like, oh, that's quite high calories. But it's high because it's giving you everything, right? Now, if you were to have that meal, let's for argument's sake, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, yes, you'd be hitting about the 1400, 1500 mark. But if that was within your calorie range, that'd be cool, not an issue. So when it comes to portion size, calorie density, then it's about aligning that with your weight loss goal, with your maintenance weight, whatever it is that you're trying to do around your health and fitness. So as long as these things are within your calorie range for maintaining a healthy weight, or if you want to lose weight, then again, it's about where does that sit within what you're eating all throughout the day. And I would say I'd go for a filling meal over having a smaller meal and then having to snack on stuff afterwards, because these, 100 calorie biscuits or 179 protein bar. These are the calories that add in, or the crisps. I done a clip earlier about protein pops, and they're appearing in the supermarket, and they're a 45-gram portion, and they're 179 calories for a bag. So that's where it creeps in. So if you're not having full meals with a higher calorific range, and I'm talking higher calorific in terms of the quality of the meal, opposed to having something that's deep fried, then you'll end up snacking over stuff, and you're kind of robbing Paul to feed Peter, if that's how it is. That's what the saying is. But you know what I'm saying. You're basically cutting back on your calories in your meals, but you end up snacking loads of stuff and end up overeating because you're not having a full calorific quality density meal. Okay, so we spoke there a little bit about whole chicken. I mentioned a little bit about calories in terms of it not being deep fat fried, healthy fats. So if you think about healthier cooking techniques, things like baking, steaming, grilling, sauteing over frying, these are all healthier cooking methods. So again, it's that recipe of if something says deep fry, obviously air fryers are a trend, you're still frying, but it's going, well, actually grilling be better for me than using the air fryer. What's the dubiety around that? And I'd say I'd follow the recipe should have what the calorie breakdown is, and that way you can see actually what would be the benefit of frying that versus grilling it. And also if you are hitting up barbecue season, some pre-made stuff like Marks used to do the 3 for £12, and like chicken skewers and lamb skewers and all sorts, grilling is often better because then you're going to release a lot of fat that's in the product through grilling it. So sometimes it's a positive to get rid of the excess fat in those products. So definitely the technique is a big one in terms of how healthy it is or not. You know the deal, like if you're going to have fish and chips from the chippy, it's not going to be as healthy as if you were having baked fish at home with oven baked sweet potato fries, for example. Yeah, you know the deal. Okay, and then things about additives. So again, you have control over the salt you add. I personally don't have salt in my food. I don't add it. We get naturally through like the Jason sourdough bread, things like that. So I don't ever add salt to my food because I know I get it from other places just because it's in everything. So personally, I don't add salt. My recipes will have salt. And I always say to people, season to taste. And you get your sugar through different flavorings like maple syrup, honey, again, natural ways of doing it. And then like things like olive oil, opposed to, you think I'm going to say butter, but butter is again a natural fat, opposed to your margarines and your spreads. So when you get these spreadables, what do they actually do to make them spreadable? Look at the ingredients, see what else is in there. Butter is straightforward, you know what you're getting. Same for olive oil, whereas some of these spreads, not too sure what you're getting in there. So check the back, see what's in there in terms of unhealthy fats or processed fats. So as I always say, reading the label of your ingredients is also key. Check with what's in it. Peanut butter, as I've mentioned before, is a good one, where with peanut butter, a lot of them have added salt. And it can also be a combination of oil and salt, especially with the cheaper ones. So any ingredients, if you're making a chicken satay, for example, look at where you can at buying the highest quality of food, because that's going to serve your health and make your recipe healthier rather than not so healthy. And a lot of recipes might have things like soy sauce in it, and you get light soy, dark soy, and you also get like reduced soy now. So again, it's looking at the reduced salt options, or if you actually prefer the full salt options, then just be mindful that you are having extra salt. So make sure you're up on your hydration. And then of course, if you're having that recipe once in a blue moon, opposed to it being one that you have as a go-to week on week, then not really an issue. So it's really about, a single recipe isn't going to determine your overall health. A single recipe is certainly going to help inform whether you get cravings, whether you're hungry afterwards, how much it fuels with your body over the 72 hours following that meal. But overall, it's about longevity. So you eating healthy for a long period of time consistently, opposed to having one healthy meal, then hitting up the Chinese or the takeaway. So ultimately, all the factors I discussed help you evaluate whether it's a healthy meal or not, in terms of the wholeness of the ingredients, the colors, they're natural, the high quality of the ingredients versus the processed foods. But if you want to, break it down and do like an example, you could take an example as being like the salad I just mentioned to you, and my chicken pecan orange salad versus, say, a macaroni and cheese, which isn't going to be healthy, right? If you follow a mac and cheese recipe with cream and cheese and pasta and all those things, you might want to hit that up every once in a while. Not a problem, but that is a choice you're making, and it's not going to be a healthy recipe. So yeah, it's about overall choosing how to eat healthy for the whole day, the snacks you're having, that's all going to benefit your health. But I just want to give you some key factors on whether a recipe is healthy or not, because there's just so much stuff out there, right, about what's healthy and what's not healthy. So I hope that helps. Any questions on that, give me a shout. If you've got any recipes and you're like, oh, I'm not sure about this actually, then drop me a note. Or if it's an ingredient you're not sure about, my DMs are always open. Drop me a note and go, Julie, can you just check out this ingredient for me? Or if you're going to a restaurant and you're struggling for food choices, what's the healthiest? Then again, drop me a note. I'm always happy to help. And I think it's one of the hardest things to navigate is the amount of stuff out there. I even seen like a wild thing. I mean, it's a different topic, but it's saying about females shouldn't be having periods because it's unhealthy. And I'm like, oh my God, like that is part of our challenge, right? And that thing will get so many views because it's complete nonsense. So people tend to get lots of views from having all the greasy foods. The big look at me with my big beige plate of food that looks absolutely horrible, but yeah, we all like it and say, yeah, great, look at that, that looks awesome, that looks tasty, look at this giant cake, rather than look at these healthy meals, look how good they are for us. So there's definitely, I would say, a play out there in terms of what attracts attention, and whether you're looking for something healthy or not. There is a bit on social media. How many times do you see people posting pictures of their healthy meal opposed to the burgers and the chips? Or when they're going on holiday, they now say, oh, you've got to have a drink before you go on your flight in the morning. You don't have to do that. It is a choice. All right, team. But ultimately, it's about whole health. It's about the 80-20 rule. You know about the 80-20. So having those healthy recipes 80% of the time. And then if you want a mac and cheese once a week, whatever it might be, then knock yourselves out. So it's all about that balance. All right, team, any questions, give me a shout. You know how to get in touch with me. And I hope that helps. Take care, and I will catch you tomorrow.